Readers, I'm about to read a dystopian story aloud to you, and in doing so, I'll be dropping all of you into one of those unfamiliar and troubling worlds. But before I do that, will you do what you always do when you read? Will you think for a second about what the work is that's especially important for you to do at the start of any story? You're probably thinking that you need to get to know characters and the setting, including starting to get a feel for the mood of that setting. You may be thinking, too, that you'll want to get to know the issues that are important. That's a lot to do. Readers have a lot of work to do at the start of stories. Lots of information comes at you all at once. But readers, today and for this next month, we won't be reading just any stories. We'll be reading dystopian stories. It's going to be important for you to learn how this particular kind of story tends to go, because dystopian stories are a bit different than other stories, and therefore the work you need to do as a reader is a bit different. So for today, let's pay special attention to how this genre seems to go and what that means for you as readers of this genre. You'll see that the work that readers do, that they need to do at the start of the story, is a bit different when it's a dystopian story. Some of you have already read tons of dystopian stories. Others have just read a few. Will you draw on the experiences you've had with this genre, either reading dystopian stories or watching dystopian movies like The Hunger Games or movies like Divergent? Then think, what is the special work that readers of dystopian novels need to do at the start of a dystopian story? You may be thinking that in dystopian stories, sometimes the beginning can be confusing. I agree. There are often strange details about characters and the setting. So that makes me think that readers have to try to figure out the rhythm and the reason of this new world. In other words, you have to try and figure out what the rules of this place might be. Also, we know that dystopian stories are set in a future where things have gone awry. So readers have to gather information about what has gone wrong in the future world they are reading about. So let's read the start of this story, Ponies, by Kit Johnson. And as we read, let's try to do this work. Let's try to read with the genre in mind and figure out what has gone awry in this future world and what strange rules or customs the characters have to follow. Have your reading notebook ready to go and take notes as I read. The invitation card has a Western theme. Along its margins, cartoon girls in cowboy hats chase a herd of wild ponies. The ponies are no taller than the girls, fat and bright as butterflies, with short, round-tipped unicorn horns and small, fluffy wings. At the bottom of the card, newly caught ponies mill around in a corral. The girls have lassoed a pink and white pony. Its eyes and mouth are surprised round O's. There is an exclamation mark over its head. So far, nothing seems wrong. In fact, this doesn't even seem like it's a future. It's an invitation card, maybe for a kid's party, with some cartoon drawings of girls and ponies on it. But I'm thinking that because of the genre of the story, there's bound to be something else going on here. Aren't you? Let's keep reading. The little girls are cutting off its horns with curved knives. Its wings are already removed, part of a pile beside the corral. Whoa! Okay, something has definitely gone wrong. The story went from everything being fine to, whoa, it is not fine all of a sudden. This can happen in all sorts of books, the onset of trouble. But here's the thing. If you were thrown into this dystopian world, Your life could depend on figuring out how this unusual world works. You'd need to make theories about the rules you need to follow and how to act so you fit in with the people and where it's safe to go. And you would need to do this fast before you become a victim of this dystopian world. As readers of dystopian fiction, it's our job now to start investigating and making theories about this place. Of course, we don't know enough to really grasp what the rules of this place are, but the important thing is we can begin to start thinking about it. We could say, well, maybe, or now I'm wondering if, or I'm thinking perhaps. Are you ready to try thinking this way about this world? Let's see. Maybe this is a world where, what are you thinking? As we read on, let's keep thinking about these theories and making new ones. Remember, we know, since this is dystopian, that something has gone awry in this world, that something really unsettling is happening, and we have to understand what that is. You and your pony, and Sunny's name is handwritten here in puffy girl letters. You and your pony are invited to a cutting out party with the other girls. If we like you, and if your pony does okay, we'll let you hang out with us. Yay, Sunny says. I can't wait to have friends. She reads over Barbara's shoulder, her rose-scented breath woofing through Barbara's hair. They are in the big backyard next to Sunny's pink stable. Barbara says, "Do you know what you want to keep?" Sunny's tiny wings are a blur as she hops into the air, loops, and then hovers, legs curled under her. Oh, being able to talk, absolutely. Flying is great, but talking is way better. She drops to the grass. I don't know why any pony would keep her horn. It's not like it does anything. Wait, what's this about? Sunny's keeping parts of her, or not keeping parts of her. How is this new information changing your ideas about what's going on, about the rules of this place, and what's gone wrong in the world? Take a second to jot a few notes in your reading notebook. You probably have a lot of different theories about what is going on in this place, and a lot of confusion. That's actually a really good thing. Usually, dystopian authors want you to be just a little confused at the start, so it's more worrying if you're not confused. Once the authors get you really intrigued about what is happening, though, they usually give you a few big clues. Look out for those clues as we read on. This is the way it's always been, as long as there have been ponies. All ponies have wings. All ponies have horns. All ponies can talk. Then all ponies go to a cutting out party with all the girls. And they give up 2 of the 3 because that's what has to happen if a girl is going to fit in with the other girls. The ponies must all keep their voices because Barbara's never seen one that still had her horns or wings after her cutting out party. Barbara sees the other girls' ponies all the time, peeking in the classroom windows just before recess or clustered at the bus stop after school. They're baby pink and lavender and daffodil yellow, with flossy manes and ringlets and tails that curl to the ground. When not at school, or cello lessons, or ballet class, and soccer practice, and play group, and the orthodontist, the other girls spend their days with their ponies. Whoa! Kidge Johnson just gave us a lot of information. What did you learn? How does this fit with your theories about this place, or not? We figured out a few things that definitely make this place a dystopia, different from our world, and in a very bad way. You might be thinking that they're talking about ponies with horns and wings who go to school with the girls. You might be thinking there's a really weird cutting out party where the ponies lose two of those things. Ugh, definitely doesn't seem like our world.